So what is going on, guys? NanoPrince93 here with another video. And obviously, if you guys are in the iPad Pro community or the iPad community period, you guys have seen that Bridge has that aluminum keyboard accessory for the iPad. And you know, when the iPad Pro first came out, it was awesome because it gave you like that MacBook Pro feel, and it was made out of kind of the same anodized aluminum that MacBook Pros are made of. So it kind of made it a nice little package, right? And it kind of all meshed together, and it was really nice. But I tested it out. It was, again, like I said, it was nice. It was a little on the pricier side. And then when I was using it, I would always, like, I would think I'm using a laptop so much so that I would reach for like a trackpad to move something around. And obviously it wasn't there. So then Bridge announced their Bridge Keyboard Plus, which does bring a trackpad built right into it. Because now with iPadOS, you have that mouse capability or that accessibility feature that allows you to use a mouse while you're working. Obviously, it's not the same as a normal mouse solution or the normal mouse that we're so accustomed to seeing on a regular laptop, on a Windows or Mac computer, but it's something new, right? There was a company that tried to come out with it, but I think they got sued by Bridge because it looks so similar to the Bridge keyboard, and then Bridge kind of took it over. But again, for the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, to reserve it is $220, and that's like the pre-order price. So it'll probably be like $250 when it finally does release to everybody else. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't have that kind of money to just be dropping $250, $220 on a keyboard, right? That essentially is just a Bluetooth keyboard that's made really nice, that attaches via like two latches, right, onto a keyboard or onto the iPad Pro. So I started looking around, right? I was like, there has to be a cheaper version of this somewhere, right? And I was like looking on Amazon, going on Google, and then I stumbled upon one on Amazon, which was $70 or $80. I paid for this myself, nobody sent it to me, and I just kind of wanted to review for you guys. I've been testing it for the last 2 to 3 days, just to see if it was too good to be true, essentially, right? I posted on it on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you guys want to see some sneak peeks. It's the stuff that I'm kind of reviewing at the moment and testing out, and also on the polls on YouTube. But you guys seem to really want to see what this looks like, so I'm gonna show you what it looks like. And honestly, guys, I'm pleasantly surprised. It's only been 2 to 3 days, and there's like one thing that's kind of annoying, or like two things that are kind of annoying. But again, for the price and the functionality, it's hard to complain too much. Let's hop right into it. So this is the fixed nose R for the 2018 iPad Pro 12.9 inch. And like I said, it's about $80 on Amazon. And if you go on fixednoseR.com, the website itself is a little weird, right? It doesn't have like a product category. You know, they literally only sell keyboards and neck pillows for some reason. But again, I was like, screw it, I'm gonna try it. I got it on Amazon. Worst case scenario, I can return it and get all my money back, right? And I've been playing with it for about 2 to 3 days. And this So I want to start with the two negatives that I have to kind of, I guess, complain about, but just things that you guys should know when it comes to this iPad Pro keyboard. So the first thing is that the whole point of the iPad Pro is portability, right? It's small, it's slim, it's lightweight, it's a beautiful device that you can just throw in a pocket, especially if you have the 11 inch. That's, you know, you put that in a purse, you can put that in a small carrying bag. But again, iPad Pro is portability and having power in a portable form factor. But this iPad Pro case is heavy. It's made out of some sort of metal. I think it's aluminum. It's as heavy, if not maybe a little bit heavier than the Bridge keyboard, because it does have that clamshell design that covers the entire back, so that adds a little bit more weight. That part is plastic, but the keyboard itself and the base of the keyboard is metal. And so that's the first negative, right? It does add a little bit of weight. You're basically carrying a laptop at that point, guys. And then the second thing is, if you take a real close look, and this is only if you're like extremely anal, which I am, if you take a really close look at when you put the iPad Pro into the actual clamshell portion, it's almost like it doesn't go all the way over, right? I wish there was like a little bit of a lip over the screen, just so, because if you don't have a screen protector, then the keyboard is hitting the screen directly. So I have a keyboard, so I don't really care that much, but I do wish that the actual case itself kind of wrapped around the iPad just a teeny tiny bit more. And again, I'm nitpicking, right? That's just who I am. That's why I'm here. I kind of show you guys every single aspect of these things. So those are the two main issues. So now let's talk about all the freaking positives of this thing. So again, you have an iPad Pro. So you have an iPad Pro that has a full QWERTY keyboard that is backlit, has a bunch of cool RGB colors. You have the top row of commands, which the Apple keyboard doesn't have, and you have a trackpad, right? And it's all in this little form. Look at that, look how little that is, guys, right? It's like thinner than the actual iPad Pro, which is a beautiful thing. And then you also have a designated spot for your pencil, which I kind of like, right? You have this little slit right here, which you can put your pencil in, which is something the Bridge keyboard doesn't have. So the Bridge keyboard literally just relies on the magnet, just like the iPad Pro keyboard, which I've shown you guys before. I've lost my Apple Pencil, and it is the worst feeling, right? So, and on top of that, right? So with my MX Anywhere S2, there's a few gestures that I can do, right? There's a couple hotkeys that I can also utilize to kind of ease my life a little bit, but I'm going to show you guys that there's actual gestures, right? And you can actually turn the mouse pad off and on with all these different gestures and different controls that come on the keyboard. So again, this thing, again, it's $80. It's built well. Again, I've only had it for 2-3 days. It's built well, and it has a bunch of functionality that the Apple keyboard doesn't have, and not even the Bridge keyboard has. Like, I would say the Bridge keyboard has less functionality than this keyboard, obviously because of the trackpad and the RGB lights and all that good stuff. But so you have your single click, which obviously opens up any app, the double click with 2 fingers, which opens up that accessibility menu, triple click, which brings you back to the home screen. If you double tap with 3 fingers, it brings you to the multitasking window. You can swipe up and down with 2 fingers like you would on a MacBook. You can undo, redo with 3 fingers, copy, cut, paste, and those are all the gestures. So it's almost, so you know how iPadOS brought all those new gestures with a bunch of fingers? You can now do that with this trackpad, which again is unbelievable. I don't know how this company did it and was able to kind of play with the native OS like this so well, but I freaking love it, right? You get up to, I think, 9 hours of continuous battery life with the keyboard, with the RGB keyboard light on, and about 20 hours without it on. It charges via USB-C, which again is another huge plus, which is something that I didn't look at when I bought it, and I remembered, I was like, oh, I pray to God that this thing comes with a USB-C and not a micro USB. So it is USB-C to charge, and the kicker, the thing that really, really takes us home, is the fact that you can fit the Basis 6-in-1 USB-C hub on this thing. And again, I've tried on a bunch, Average Tech Guy's tried on a bunch, and basically that Basis hub only has worked on the Apple keyboard case, and now it works with this because it's so slim, guys. So again, the big things to take away here, right? It is a small company, so if it does break, I don't know what your support looks like, but you are buying it from Amazon, so you could return it, right? It's an Amazon Prime product, so that means that Amazon's responsible for that product. If it's not a Prime and it's coming from a vendor, then you're kind of out of luck. But I got Amazon Prime. You also take into account that it's heavy. So if you do drop it on something hard, like concrete or wood, you could dent the keyboard and maybe even the iPad itself, because yeah, it's in a clamshell case, but it's a hard plastic, and I feel like that hard plastic will crack pretty easily. Those are the 2 main things that I want you guys to think about, because I have dropped my MacBook Pro before, like I mentioned way before, while it was still in my backpack, and I dropped my backpack on the street, and it still dented my MacBook Pro in the corner. So keep that in mind, right? But overall, typing experience has been much better than expected. Mouse experience, there's a little bit of a learning curve, guys. It's not going to be a 1-to-1 match to a regular Apple keyboard or Apple trackpad. You gotta play around with the track speed. You gotta go into the menu and customize it how you want to. And I can make a video for you guys if you guys want me to see how I found like the perfect amount of like cursor movement and responsiveness when it comes to the trackpad. And overall, it's just a great device. Like, I can't find too many negative things to say about it. It comes in one color. It's black. Again, it's a great finish, and the final package is just, it's nice. You just close it up, and this is what you're dealing with. So like, this thing is still very thin. One thing that I do hate is this big circle cutout. I've never been a fan of cases that have this gigantic circle cutout to show the Apple logo. I wish it was just like all the way through. Not that I don't like the Apple logo or anything, I don't know why this doesn't look clean to me, right? It's not like aesthetically pleasing to me. But like I said, there's a pencil, you try to shake it out, it won't come out. You got the grills to have music pass through or sound pass through on both sides. USB-C is there. It charges via USB-C too, so you can actually plug, just like the Bridge, you can plug your iPad Pro into this to get a charge while you're using, if your keyboard's on low. And it has about, I think, like a 9-month standby time. So unless you're typing away like 10 hours straight, which some people do, and that's why they would get a keyboard, right? If they're like journalists or they write for, or they type articles for a living or anything, then yeah, you might need to have like a USB-C cable ready to go. But other than that, like I said, I charged it once because it came really low battery. I charged it once and I haven't charged it again in the 2-3 days that I've had it. So overall, it's a great product. I'm gonna link it below and give it a try, guys. Worst case scenario, you return it on Amazon. And like I said, it's gonna add a little bit of weight, but it's gonna add an abundance of functionality, guys. So thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, peace, guys.